Red emergency lights pulsed through the massive chamber of the Galactic Defense Station as sirens wailed their haunting melody. The central holographic display showed death itself spreading across the stars. A quantum tear in reality that consumed everything in its path, leaving nothing but void in its wake. High Commander Zextal, his crystalline form dimming with each new report, addressed the panicked Galactic Council. The Nexar attack has exceeded our worst projections. The quantum tear has consumed the Andromeda arm. The Perseus sector is dark. Evacuation protocols have failed. The tear's expansion is accelerating beyond our ability to predict. The quantum tear shouldn't have been possible. It violated every law of physics the galaxy's finest minds had established over millennia. But the Nexar, an ancient machine race determined to cleanse the galaxy of organic life, had somehow done it. They'd found a way to unravel reality itself. In the stunned silence that followed Zextal's report, a single human stepped forward. Dr. Emily Chen, Earth's representative to the Galactic Science Council, studied the holographic display with an unsettling intensity. The other council members shifted uncomfortably. They'd learned to fear that look. It usually preceded what their safety protocols classified as human innovation events. How hard could it be to close it, she asked, fingers already flying across her primitive laptop computer. The chamber erupted in chaos. 3 Medusan delegates spontaneously changed color. A Zentaran physicist fainted. Someone started reciting the emergency protocol for human innovation events. Dr. Chen. Zextal's voice cut through the pandemonium. The tear is consuming entire star systems. Our most advanced quantum computers can't even model its behavior. The combined knowledge of 50 spacefaring civilizations has failed to... Yeah, but have you tried hitting it with a reverse-engineered uncertainty field? Emily interrupted, pulling up complex calculations. I mean, it's basically just a big quantum zipper, right? We just need to zip it back up. The phrase triggered 7 different galactic safety protocols simultaneously. First scientist Vexina, her bioluminescent tentacles flashing warning patterns, stepped forward. Dr. Chen, what you're suggesting is beyond impossible. The energy requirements alone already solved that problem, a new voice called out. David Rodriguez, Earth's unconventional engineering specialist, strode into the chamber carrying what looked like a modified quantum core. Remember that weird resonance crystal we found in the ancient ruins last month? Turns out it amplifies quantum fields when you run a current through it backwards. Several senior scientists clutched their data pads in horror. You did what with an ancient artifact? Made it better, Dave grinned. Now who's ready to sew up a hole in reality? 24 hours earlier, the Nexar had emerged from dark space without warning. Their quantum phase ships passed through the strongest shields like they weren't there. Their weapons didn't just destroy, they erased matter from existence, leaving behind patches of nothing that spread like cancer through space-time. The Galactic Defense Fleet, the most powerful armada ever assembled, had lasted exactly 6 minutes against a single Nexar vessel. Now, as Emily Chen outlined her insane plan to the Council, many wondered if they'd finally found something even more terrifying than the Nexar: human creativity under pressure. The quantum tear operates on uncertainty principles, Emily explained, manipulating a holographic model. But uncertainty goes both ways. If we can create a strong enough field of reversed quantum probability, we might be able to trick reality into thinking the tear never existed. That's not how quantum mechanics works, protested the head of the quantum physics division. Emily smiled that terrible human smile. Not yet. The plan was simple by human standards. Emily and Dave would pilot a modified ship directly into the quantum tear, using their reality sewing machine, a jury-rigged combination of ancient technology, standard quantum cores, and several pieces of equipment they'd borrowed from various laboratories. The timing has to be perfect, Emily explained. We'll only get one shot before the tear's entropy field reduces us to our component quantum states. And if you fail? Zextel asked. Then reality unravels and we all cease to exist, Dave replied cheerfully. But hey, at least we won't be around to feel bad about it. Several council members wondered, not for the first time, if humans might be just a little bit insane. As Emily and Dave prepared for their mission, first scientist Vexna pulled Zextal aside. We should stop them, she whispered. Their solution could accelerate the tear's expansion. And even if it works, do we really want to teach humans that they can solve problems this way? Zextal's crystalline form pulsed with worried colors. Do we have a choice? They watched as the two humans made final modifications to their ship, arguing about whether it was possible to overclock an ancient artifact. Perhaps, Vexna said softly. The Nexar aren't the most dangerous thing to happen to our galaxy after all. The mission was unauthorized, unstoppable, and according to every quantum physics expert in the galaxy, utterly impossible. Emily and Dave's ship, heavily modified with their quantum reality sewing machine, approached the tear in space-time. This is suicide, High Commander Zextal's voice crackled over the comm. The gravitational forces alone will... Trust the math, Emily responded, her fingers dancing across control panels that seemed to be partially held together with emergency patches and hope. Quantum mechanics is weird, but it's predictably weird. Dave, how's our reality anchor holding? The crystal's humming like a dream, Dave replied from the engineering section. Ready to make physics cry. The tear loomed before them, a wound in reality that stretched across light years. As they approached, their sensors began to fail, reality itself becoming uncertain around them. Emily took a deep breath. Initiating quantum field reversal in 3, 2, 1. The universe held its breath. The official report, sealed in the deepest vaults of the galactic archives, simply states, human innovation occurred. Reality reconstructed itself accordingly. The unofficial story, whispered in space station bars and engineering lounges, tells of what happened next. Of how two humans played chicken with a hole in space-time and won. Of how they turned an ancient artifact into something that made uncertainty itself uncertain. Of how they rewrote the laws of physics with nothing but human ingenuity and sheer audacity. When Emily activated the quantum field reversal, something impossible happened. The tear didn't just stop growing, it began to shrink. Reality itself seemed to hiccup, as if the universe was remembering how it was supposed to be. It's working, Dave shouted over the comm. The quantum resonance is... The transmission cut off as their ship was enveloped in the collapsing tear. For 3 terrifying minutes, there was nothing but static. Then, like a video playing in reverse, stars began to reappear. Systems that had been erased winked back into existence. The quantum tear didn't just close, it retroactively never existed. The lost colonies returned, their inhabitants unaware they had ever been erased from reality. The only evidence anything had happened was the lingering headache felt by everyone in the Galactic Defense Station, and the softly humming crystal in Dave's modified quantum core. The Nexar, suddenly facing a united galactic fleet that now included ships carrying human innovations, retreated back to dark space. Their final transmission, broadcast across all frequencies, contained only 4 words. What are these creatures? But what happened next would change the galaxy forever. Emily and Dave were heroes, of course, the humans who had saved reality itself. But as the dust settled and the celebrations ended, the Galactic Council faced a terrifying question. What were they going to do about humanity? It's not just that they solved an impossible problem, First Scientist Vexna explained to an emergency session of the Council. It's that they're teaching others to think like them. Reports were pouring in from across the galaxy. A young Zenteran engineer had looked at a failing quantum drive and said those dreaded words. How hard could it be? She'd then proceeded to rebuild it using principles that shouldn't have worked. A Medusan research team had started approaching problems with what they called human-style intuitive leaps. They'd already revolutionized 3 different fields of study and given their safety officers collective nervous breakdowns. Even the crystalline collective, known for their rigid adherence to established principles, had begun experimenting with what they termed controlled chaos theory. The humans aren't just changing physics, Vexna continued. They're changing how the galaxy thinks. And if we don't act now... The chamber doors burst open. Emily Chen strode in, carrying what looked suspiciously like another modified piece of ancient technology. Sorry to interrupt, she said, not looking sorry at all. But we've figured out how to use quantum uncertainty principles to revolutionize faster-than-light travel. Dave's already installed a prototype on the station's main drive. Want to see how it works? Several council members reached for their emergency protocols simultaneously. Dr. Chen, High Commander Zextal's voice was strained. You can't just... That's not how we... There are procedures. Yeah, but procedures take forever, Emily replied. And honestly, how hard could it be to... Enough! Zextal's crystalline form flashed warning colors. That phrase, that attitude, it must be contained, for the safety of reality itself. Emily's expression softened. You can ban the words, she said quietly, but you can't ban the idea. Because that's what humanity really brings to the galaxy, not just solutions, but the belief that solutions are possible. That nothing is truly impossible if you just look at it the right way. She gestured to the stars visible through the chamber's vast windows. The Nexar will be back, and when they come, they'll bring something even worse than a quantum tear. Something designed to be truly impossible to stop. Her smile returned, that terrible, wonderful human smile that had preceded so many impossible solutions. But you know what? That's okay. Because now the galaxy knows something the Nexar don't. Nothing is really impossible. It's just waiting for someone crazy enough to try. The Galactic Council did ban the phrase, "How hard could it be?" and classified it as a Class 1 restricted expression. They established new protocols for human-style innovation and created an entire department dedicated to preventing unauthorized physics violations. But they also, quietly and with great trepidation, established the Human Innovation Initiative, a program designed to teach other species how to think like humans in carefully controlled conditions with plenty of safety officers standing by. Because the galaxy had learned something important. Sometimes the most dangerous force in the universe isn't quantum tears or ancient machine races or even humans themselves. It's the simple, terrible, wonderful idea that the impossible is just another problem waiting to be solved. And no amount of regulations can ban that.